Hello, I am Sean's Hands from Gamers with Jobs, and we are going to mess around a little bit here with Endless Space 2, which is a sequel to one of my favorite 4X games of recent years. Obviously, Endless Space 1, and yeah, I'm really excited to kind of dive into this. They've just released their most recent update 2. They are still in early access, and just kind of releasing these sort of incremental big updates on the way up to release, whenever release is. Not sure when that's going to be, hopefully when it's all set, but I played a little bit on the last patch, and really was just very into it. But have a lot to learn. Haven't played a ton of this game, and I know the latest update adds a new civilization, which is what I want to play. It adds some updates to a lot of the core mechanics. I know the technology tree has been messed around with a bit. There's new minor civilizations, sort of new diplomatic components. So I'm excited to dive into all that, and that's just what I'm going to do here. So we'll see how long how long the game goes. We are going to set up a new game, and we aren't. I was playing as the Cravers before. One of the things I love about there's a lot of things I really like about Endless Space 1 and 2. A big part of it is I think the factions that they create are very interesting. They've got really kind of cool ideas behind them. The Cravers, for example, have this component where they're just sort of they devour. They're almost like a swarm of creatures, and when they take over a planet, they get this huge bonus to the resources and everything they get. But as they use up the planet, that bonus continues drops and drops and drops over turns until it's actually a detriment, that you're actually getting much less than you normally would for the planet, which encourages you to just sort of spread throughout the galaxy and just sort of take over every planet and strip it, its minerals and its food and its dust and all these things, which is kind of cool. The new race that they've included here is the Horatio, which is another cool idea, which is basically a sort of, dramatically kind of amazing. So it almost feels like an Egyptian sort of god to me, that has decided to build an entire race of himself, just cloning again and again and again. Which is called why it's called the Horatio. This is Horatio, and the entire the entire universe that he wants to make is just himself. Incredibly wealthy and only slightly less deranged, Horatio was a trillionaire who left to discover his own star cluster. Finding a planet sprinkled with labs of ancient cloning technology left by the Endless, the boredom soon drove Horatio to create a race of allies, servants, and slaves who were every bit as gorgeous as the most beautiful person in the universe, Horatio. Once the planet was repopulated, Horatio the First had only to look up, regard the stars, and realize how much more beautiful they too would be if they were filled with Horatios. The rest, as they say, is history. Big giant brain, makes sense. Holds star systems in his hands. Love the hull designs. It's very. They actually remind me, like this one in particular reminds me of I forget what the big ships in the Avengers movies were called, but like those big floating ships that came down and hit New York. I don't know. Traits: Gene Hunter, the Horatio are Horatio and intend to expand until all the galaxy is as gorgeous as they are. They get a -10 relationship penalty with other civilizations and empires, and they consume more food per spliced population on the original empire population. Per spliced population on original. So as I understand that, oh right, so they splice populations as they sort of can DNA splice the advantages of other populations into their own. But as they continue to do that, the presumption here seems to be that as they kind of build out their sort of core DNA structure, it costs more and more and more to sustain that. So as you sort of add to the superiority of the Horatio, you eat more and more food, use more and more of sort of your living resources to sustain that. And the Horatio are Horatio and intend to expand until all the galaxy is as gorgeous as they are. That means they have +2 happiness, and sort of, yeah, that makes sense. Like it's almost sort of a religious sort of thing. They have their political opinions tend toward religion, like they are their own religion. They have crowded planets. They can put more of themselves on planets. Perfect genes, plus 50% hero recovery rate. Rare earth foam. Start with this technology discovered. Uh, you know, the Horatio pretty happy with themselves. Costs a little more to build ships, and off-world agribusiness starts with that technology. So we will start with the Horatio. Spiral Galaxy, medium size, is as much as we can get right now. Still in early access, age normal. We're going to go with the default there. Go with 6 competitors, normal difficulty, normal speed. We'll just call it my game. Now, I don't want other Horatio. Let's see. Sophons, Vodiani, Lumeris, Sophons, and United. I don't mind having... we should have one of each, though. We should have the Cravers in there somewhere. So we have enough to do one of every type of, we call it civilization in the galaxy. This all looks good. So I think we will start, and hopefully the volume's coming in okay. But we'll watch this cutscene and then dive in on the other side. This Horatio is very determined.
Saw what was in the mirror. I always saw what was beyond. They saw deformity. I found beauty. They saw madness. I found genius. For the longest time, I have been the only one who sees what lies beyond the mirror. But soon, very soon, they will see it as well.
Glorious shall the Horatio be. Army of me, the Horatio tend not to dabble in the affairs of others, preferring to keep advancing their cloning and gene splicing technologies. One use for exotic peoples and creatures would be indeed to take their best features and integrate them into Horatio's DNA so that all Horatio may benefit from what this galaxy has to offer. To learn more on these topics, click the Senate button or Manage Population button. So Senate. This stuff, yeah, the Senate screen is where you can survey your beautiful people and what they think. Pay particular attention to the population census, as it gives you an overview of the population composing your empire. Population genes. The button population and genes down here, you will learn more about Horatio affinity and what prowesses have already been accomplished by master splicers. So we have the religious party is powerful. It's pretty much the only one. That seems to be ruled by a hero. We have Righteous Fury as an active law, which is you can attack and invade an enemy territory while being in Cold War. That's fine. What else do we want? Excess tithe rule. So you'll have to forgive me. I don't come to this with a pre-drawn strategy. Like I said, I'm relatively new at the game, so there's going to be a little bit of discovering and reading of tooltips. Hopefully that's cool. Let's see. This is plus 25% dust on systems. Yep. Excess tithe rule, larger hosts bill, more manpower and more food on systems. Approval rating is forced to content, plus 50%. That may be useful in the long run, but in the short term, I think what I want is just more cash, more of that sweet dust. Dust it up. Senate breakdown all 7 are religious. We are a dictatorship. ×3 penalty from representative politics past. All right. Good. Population and genes. Before your eyes is the best way to learn about your people, the Horatio and the mongrel species. Know their political leanings and learn what type of bonus they bring to our empire. You may learn what they could add to Horatio through the gene splicing effects screen. Should you desire their advantages, be careful though. Gene extraction will require more and more individuals from the species to sacrifice their life without a subsequent splicing process. Ensuring a successful graft of foreign genes means collecting all available samples of the species. To put it bluntly, it means cutting up everyone from a specific population. Oh, we're horrible people. Worry not, though, as our glorious empire will be stronger for it. For each population is assimilated, our hunger grows more ravenous, so make sure food is available. Once the decision is made to extract a population's gene, use the button Splice Genes to start the process. Glory awaits. So we have the Horatio, which is us. We are spiritual, anti-materialist, and relativists. So spiritual, political opinion more impacted by religion. Anti-materialist, less impacted by science events, and in fact, those, I guess their science events support religious, science, right? Yeah, scientists. So cool. Zvali. Curious and technically savvy, the Zvali are a self-reliant species who trust in the power of science. And then what would we need? Extract the genes. You need to reach a number of 2 of populations to perform this action. Extract the genes to include their effect to your. So their effect is +2 and +3 science. So this is interesting. I'm curious. I'm not totally sure. We'll figure this out. So does that mean when I splice this group into my population, I will have +4 thumbs up, +4 happiness, and +3 science on happy planets? No, this is what happens. I get +1 science and +1. Okay. Still, that would be good. So when we have 2 of the Zvali, we need to come back here and splice their genes. We need to chop them up into tiny DNA bits and then just, I don't know, synthesize them in. Eat them? No. Hopefully not that. So let's take a look. We have... Oh, all this stuff is activated now. Okay, in the last build, it was just 2 of these, I think, that were activated. So these are all victory conditions. A lot more of the victory conditions are in there now. So we have score, wonder, economy, science, conquest, and supremacy. We are first in all of those, presumably because we're playing fairly easy. Just a normal game. No, don't click done yet. Mastering the economy screen will be key to yep. You get economic over. Yeah, I've looked at this stuff before. Cool. We're going to go through everything. Okay, cool. This is the new technology screen. Awesome. To help you in your great journey through space, you need to be ready to research different ways of solving problems old and new. The technology tree is split into 4 main quadrants: empire, development, science and exploration, military, economy, and trade. Each quadrant is split into stages, the first 2 of which are accessible in each quadrant. Each quadrant is split into stages. Okay, so we have quadrant, stage. Got it. You can unlock new stages in a quadrant by unlocking a sufficient number of technologies in the previous stages of the same quadrant. Oh, so it's not like you open one era and everything's available. Now you have to be going down a certain direction. And as I understand, in the next update, there'll even be another stage that hasn't been added yet. Secondly, xenology and plasma metallurgy that underpins the exploitation of titanium and hyperium. Strategic resources. Oh, I think this is left over. Yeah. This screen is actually not supposed to be here because it used to tell you what you should probably get first. And I think this is a follow-up with that. It was saying get such and such and such first, and then secondly get these, and then efficient shielding. So I think that's a bug. No, I'm fine. I do want the tutorial. So let's see. We go in, and how do you move around here? Nope, not like that. Do you just drag it? Yeah, you drag it. So we have military, empire development, science and exploration, economy and trade. I think plasma metallurgy was one of the first things I wanted, usually. Let's see. Xenolinguistic gives you a trade building and ability to get titanium. This gives you, okay, these are those 2 that give you the access to titanium and hyperium. Military gives you, okay, those planetary landscaping, We'll need to be thoughtful of having enough food. Don't know if we need to do that right away. This allows you a diplomatic option, diplomacy with minor factions, and infinite supermarkets, which are approval based. Is that what it's saying? Food, yeah, okay. Down here we have rare earth foams, which we start with unlocked, right? Yeah, it's researched already. So we start with the +2 movement points on ships, and we can. Oh, they've got new. Interesting. They got new. I think they've got new planet types here. So I don't remember colonized Mediterranean. Um, but we start with the ability to colonize Mediterranean. Xenobiology gives us public partner, so that would be a science boost, and the ability to colonize tundra. Well, maybe we should take a look so we can do. It said the first two, right? If I wanted to click, I can't click that one. But it does look like I can click the ones in here, maybe because I start with this researched. So I start with the ability to do treaties and research. I'm like, we'll dig into the game. Don't worry. Like, I'm going to play the game, but I need to kind of both get my head around what changes are in this new version, plus just kind of, know what the hell I'm doing. We have a hero. Most important individuals in your empire, your academy heroes, can be managed here in the academy screen. At the beginning of the game, your empire only possesses one hero to recruit new heroes. Yeah. Okay, heroes. Got it. What does this dude do? What do you do? So he comes with his own ship, which is pretty nice. He is a Horatio. Good. So is this Horatio Prime? I don't know. Let's see, skill tree. Bonuses. On system if assigned, he gives +1 approval, plus 10% fleet health on fleet. I might start with him here, just because I'd like that bonus to health. And he comes with a nice ship, decent ship. Ruthenian F11 Tahina is the product of a very strange situation, a short-lived reality program on his home planet that rewarded the winner with a surprise-concentrated dose of dust exposure. Unable to physically handle the shock, Ruthenian ended up in the hospital, locked in a coma that lasted 16 long years. When he awakened, he had lost many of his social connections and a large chunk of his life, but gained incredible mental abilities. This sent him into a serious depression, an issue that he struggles with to the present day. Great. Thankfully, his exceptional talents gained him rapid admission to the academy, and after a long period of training, Ruthenian now seeks to rebuild his bond with the people of the galaxy, and especially with the Horatio community that he was cut off from so long ago. Yeah, we're going to assign him to a fleet, I think. And I assume, let's see. What are the different... We have one in each of these. All right, I should check. What do I have as far as fleet? So this is a revealer. The revealer is exploration. This is a beautifier, which is a colonizer. So I don't really start with a warship. Interesting. So I guess in the short term, we will put him here in my revealer. And we will potentially add to that. So we have... All right, we have our explorer, we have our colonizer. I'm not going to explore... Oh, this is open now. Managed population is available. This is where I'll go. Okay, got it. Economy scan. Yeah, not worried about that yet. Let's look at our home system. What do we got? We have another... So we have Horatio Prime, which is hot. What all kinds of... So this is the Zvali and the 2 Horatio. So we have 2 pops of Horatio and 1 of Zvali. We get a good amount of industry and some dust and some science. We have another colonizable planet. What is this? This is jungle? Yeah, jungle, medium hot, teeming with life, and it's about the same. But it's got decent-ish... Well, no, low, but... It's not really decent at anything. But we're not going to colonize that right now, though it does have some stuff that we can do some studying on. This is Hollow Planet and Hadopelagic. And it's a toxic planet, so it's going to be a while till we can do anything there. And this is an Arctic planet, probably a while till we can do anything there. So where do we want to start? We don't really start with a... We might need to create a type of ship that is a little bit more of a fighter in the short term. Wonder... That's not happening anytime soon. That needs 10 Hyperion and 10 Titanium. But we'll look at that later. We could do drone networks, which will give us... This is probably what I want first. Gives us bonus production, gives us bonus food. Cerebral reality will be nice, but we're getting plus 29 right now. So we'll hit the drone network. That's good. Okay. Let's see. Do I want to send off probes? I mean, I want to do these... So your revealer here, your exploration ship, has two probes at a time. They refresh a cooldown of, I think, 2 turns, but we'll see. And you can either use them to send off probes, or you can use them to investigate planets, which is, you get some bonus from these things, these question marks. For example, here I have a high chance of finding anomalies and a lower chance of some loot or resource deposits. Eventually you can, kind of do everything, but in the short term, you have to figure out how you want to use the probes. I think we're going to send the probe this way and then go explore off this way, since there's these 3 hyperlanes here. So let's see. We'll get... How many turns will we get out of this? I think it's 6. We'll see once we shoot it off in this direction. Yeah. Oh, I discovered something already. You discovered the planet. The planet. The Endless Society developed on this large, cool planet orbiting a star they called Prime. Though it is the birthplace of the culture that dominated the galaxy for centuries, they were forced to depart when overexploitation destabilized the core and crushed, triggering seismic changes. Though it is a treasure of artifacts and holds a near mystical reputation, its history is one of sorrow. Okay, so we have Bellatrix right here. Let's go ahead and find out what the Bellatrix system is all about. Colonizable, excellent. A small colonizable jungle. And unique planet as a tundra and inhospitable. Ooh. We might want to rush for tundra. This one down here was Arctic, right? Cold and meager. And this one is... inhospitable, missing technology, xenobiology. So that's probably where we want to go, because I want to populate that immediately. Not that button. Xenobiology. That's xenology. Xenobiology would give us tundra. Yeah. So this, see, this is why I didn't choose my technology first, because I want this so that I can... Yeah. Did I select that? Xenobiology, 3 turns, excellent. And we are straight away going to send our colony ship right there. To it, beautifier. I love the colony ships called the beautifier. That's awesome. And you just hang out there for 3 turns in Bellatrix. Meanwhile, and that has 2 other lanes. So I think I want to go this way, because I bet these are going to converge over here. And I want to see what we're next to there. So we're going to send our revealer in this direction. All right, yeah, and that's the converted. It will converge. And these refresh in, 2 turns. So what else have we got? You are Horatio, the Horatio of the Horatio. While your status as genius or madman may be debatable, your position as leader is not. Using powerful cloning technologies to alter your people in search of perfection, and with the image you see in every mirror as a roadmap to get there, it is your divine mission to beautify the stars. It's my personal mission too. I love that it just mirrors my own personal ethos. Hero recruited, yes, we've already done that. And we've discovered a planet. I think we're done with this turn, but it's been about 20 minutes. I'm probably going to make these episodes a little bit shorter than some of my other series, which stretch into 30 or 40 minutes. I just kind of want to try that out. If I hate it or they get long, so be it. But anyway, we'll hit the next turn and more turns. Thanks for your patience as I just sort of got my bearings, figured out what I wanted to do, kind of looked into some of the new changes. There's even more changes that we'll kind of unlock as we go forward. But that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you as always for watching. My name is Sean Sands, and I'll see you again real soon.